This is Miss Rachel Carson's Silent Spring. Now, normally on this channel, when we talk about books, we talk about classics such as Don Quixote or the Tales of Narnia, something like that. But this time, though, one of the books that have influenced us for the most is Rachel Carson's Silent Spring. As such, every generation or every movement seems to have been started off with just one book. Silent Spring is no exception. This is the book that went ahead and took the whole environmental movement towards a jolting start. Like someone just suddenly pays someone and that person and started moving. If you know what I'm talking about, that is. And we will be talking about chapters 1 to 10 of this book. And let's get this started with. Oh, and for some reason, even though this is non-fiction, there is a spark notes of this, so if you want to go check it out. Alright. Firstly, the whole point of Silent Spring is about the endangerments, the endangered consequences of using DDT overly. Now, Rachel Carson starts off by going ahead and stating her stance really clearly, as well as giving us a little chilling, how should I explain this, chilling start. Not that chilling, to be honest, but then again, it just gives us a pretty sad story. Let me read you one. There was once a town in the heart of America, where all life seemed to live in harmony with its surroundings. The town lay in the midst of a checkerboard of prosperous farms, with fields of grain and hillsides of orchards, where in spring, white clouds of bloom drifted above the green fields. Yeah, that's a terrible drawing. In autumn, oak and maple and birch stood up, a blaze of colors that flamed and flickered across the backdrop of pines. And then it continues talking about all of this sweet stuff, about like how there's a bunch of great pines, foxes, etc. Then a strange blight crept over the area, and everything began to change. If you know what I'm talking about. This strange blight she was talking about was apparently DDT. And here's how she described it. Some evil spell had settled on the community. Mysterious melodies swept the flock of chickens. The cattle and sheep sickened and died. Everywhere was a shadow of death. So as you can already see, there's already a tone of darkness in it, and it hasn't even been one page, and we're already at the dark stuff. We get explained something extremely optimistic, as in the fact, like, hey, we're gonna be fine. And then suddenly it just says, alright, there's this poisonous chemical that went ahead and blighted the entire environment. And she's not wrong. DDT itself is pretty much something that has blighted the entire environment, and that is something that will not change soon at all. The green ecosystem itself was starting to deteriorate. And it's most likely because of all these triggers that we had on DDT. So what did Rachel Carson do? She wrote this book. Now, I'm here to summarize the book for you. She went on to go ahead and describe mankind's effect on the environment, as well as this chapter entitled A No Bird's Song, which is quite self-explanatory if you ask me. This is during the springtime where we went ahead and, created a spring where there was no song. A silent spring, mind you. Now, what do you mean by the silent spring? Well, it's a silent spring because it's still spring, but no birds, so it's quite silent. And because there are no birds and it's quite silent, you get the feeling that everything's a little too quiet. No birds, the chickens fall down, the seagulls fall down with signs of DDT poisoning. DDT works like this. So let me just draw an insect, even though I really hate insects. So insects, apparently this is my best drawing of an insect, walk on DDT. And as soon as it walks on it, it's game over. Because within its nervous system, the chemical enters through its feet into the nervous system. And it hijacks it and goes into the brain. It's like rabies, but it's not a virus. And as soon as it goes in, it paralyzes. Then it kills. And as soon as that happens, whether in its liquid form or a dust solid form, it's non-discriminatory. And the fact that it's non-discriminatory, that's the problem of DDT. DDT was quite a big, major helpful chemical in World War II to help fight against malaria because, well, malaria is like the second biggest enemy after Hitler. And because of that, well, we went ahead and created this revolutionary product. And then if there was like a bug crisis or something in your hometown, they were just told to stay in their homes for like a few minutes and then come out later. Because, well, yeah, that's how they were going to spray DDT. Problem was, Rachel Carson keeps going ahead and saying about all the DDT stuff inside of us, like that there's like some parts per million, and there was like little right then, but now there's probably more DDT inside us. She goes ahead and keeps on describing the Earth as its beauty and how that mankind fighting nature will inevitably be mankind fighting itself. And she's not wrong. Mankind lives on nature. They forget that we rely on all the plants that we kill. But eventually they will remember. And when they do remember, well, that's when we have to face the consequences. And that's when we have to fix this. Our green, blue, and white planet deserves more than this. And maybe we can give it more. We just need to be smart about it, if you know what I'm talking about. The thing about our planet is that we all depend on it. We all thrive on it. And without it, we're pretty much nothing. If you know what I'm talking about. We're pretty much nothing without our planet. And so we better take good care of it. That's the whole message of Silent Spring. Just take good care of our planet. And it started our environmental movement. And eventually, we're here. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Silent Spring. I definitely didn't summarize the entire thing, but I did try my best to hit the key points. I'll see you guys soon in the next chapters, and until then, Shohan out, peace, bye bye. Silent Spring.